think that's probably what's needed is the energy.
No, I've won more than I've lost, kid.
Oh, no, you haven't, Earl.
Games, count games.
Earl Weaver just has the greatest record of any living manager in baseball.
The summer game heats up in Baltimore. It's the return of Earl Weaver that has Oriole fans stirred up. The story coming up in a special New Scene 2 report. A new boss in Birdland.
Brought to you by Provident Bank of Maryland. For you, for now, for the future. And by your participating Nissan dealers who invite you to test drive the 300ZX. It's awesome.
Good evening and welcome to this New Scene 2 special report. I'm John Saunders. Scott Garceau and Brooks Robinson will be joining me in a bit as we take a look at the events of the day and a look forward to what we can expect to see with Earl Weaver at the helm of the team again. It's been quite a day for all involved, especially for Joe Altobelli, a disappointed man, a sad man at his fate this morning as he came to the ballpark to try and meet with Hank Peters, the general manager. Hank wasn't there. He was already in a meeting with Earl Weaver. The rumors and speculation ended this afternoon with the announcements, and Edward Bennett Williams and Hank Peters blamed the media for turning what was already a bad situation into something worse. Cal Ripken Sr. took over tonight on a one-day basis because Earl Weaver couldn't make it, and earlier tonight Scott Garceau spoke with the owner, Edward Bennett Williams.
I think that real leadership requires getting the most out of your troops and getting them to tax themselves to the ultimate, both physically and mentally and emotionally. And I didn't feel that was happening here. I thought we were listless and drifting.
Scott Garceau is still out at Memorial Stadium. I bet he feels like he's been there all day, as you really have, Scott. This was something that EBW said we had started a lot of rumors, but the rumors turned out to be true.
Rumors were a true fact, John, and I guess that's the ugly thing in this whole story is the fact that Joe Altobelli was kind of left hanging for a couple of days, and it's one thing to be dismissed, but I think that perhaps things could have worked out better for Joe in the way it was handled, at least from his part of the thing. A lot of speculation about this event for weeks and weeks, and people asking for Joe's head on the talk radio shows. It finally came down, and it turned out to be a rather unpleasant way of getting the exit for Joe Altobelli. Now, reaction tonight, we talked to several fans and players and broadcasters before the game, and here's a sampling of some of that reaction.
I'm going to enjoy it. I'm an Earl Weaver man. You know, I moved over in Prairie Hall just so I could steal his tomatoes. But no, but you know, he's not out here tonight. But I think he's just exactly what this team needs. He comes in here. He's going to let everybody know that he's in charge, and he knows this ball club very good, and he knows Milwaukee Brewers. And whatever he's going to do, he's going to come into his office. He's going to do his homework and put up a lineup. And that lineup's going to be the best chance to win for the Orioles. And he might fire us up.
A little late for tomatoes for this year?
No, I don't think so. I think Earl will run his mouth about my tomatoes, and he'll have to prove to me that he can do better, and I'm sure he'll try to do that. He can have his space in the garden down there if he wants it.
No, I know Joe a long time. I know Joe for many years, and I see Joe. I said, Joe, what's the story? Are you fired or not? I said, I've been reading in Florida and all over that you were fired. He said, well, I really don't know yet, but I'm going to find out, you know. He's really an outstanding guy. He's one of my favorite people. And as I said, you know, the guy was a great manager in 1983. They won the pennant, and I know he didn't get that done in 2 years.
You were here the day he left, and it was a pretty dramatic moment. I guess something a lot of us will carry with us for a while.
Yeah, tear gas does that to you. It makes you cry.
Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, always puts things into perspective. One note, John. Before, when Earl Weaver was suspended, Cal Ripken took over the team and won 3 or 4 straight games. At that point, Earl said he wasn't going to come back until Cal Ripken lost a game. And I asked Cal if Earl might sit out tomorrow night, seeing he won tonight, but he says, no, Earl will take over the team, and he'll be back in the dugout when the Orioles take the field for the next game. John?
Okay, Scott. Well, Joe is 4 games over 500. Cal's only 1 over. We'll check with you later. When we come back, we'll look forward to the Orioles and Earl in the dugout. Brooks Robinson will join us, so stay with us.
We're having a good year, whether you're having a bad year. They've been wonderful to me, and they've been wonderful to our players ever since I've been here. And there's no way that I'll ever be able to thank the people of Baltimore enough for accepting me the way they have.
It was from the dugout to the broadcast booth for Weaver in '83 as he joined ABC for Monday night and World Series coverage. a job that at least kept him in baseball and visible.
Well, I enjoyed it tremendously. It brought me into Major League ballparks all over the country. I got to see baseball games both on the cables and in Major League cities. I got to visit some old friends on some of the ball clubs, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I doubt there's been a managerial opening in the last 2 years plus that Earl's name hasn't been mentioned as a candidate. But those close to Weaver knew the situation would have to be right. Big money, no interference from the front office, and a team that could contend. All of that this week added up to a return to Memorial Stadium, where Edward Bennett Williams hopes Earl can rekindle the memories of a pennant race. One thing is certain, tonight the word among umpires around the American League is get ready, because the Earl of Baltimore is back. George Grand, ESPN.
So special. You've played with him. What's the magic?
He does a great job, John. I think that really Earl did not get his due. You know, he took over this club All-Star break in 1968. And we almost caught the Tigers that year. In 69, 70, and 71 we won, but people said, well, you know, Earl, you got the horses, you should win. But I think he did an outstanding job with a lot of inferior teams, and I think the thing that he does best, he utilizes his 25-man roster better than anyone I've ever seen. And I think the key to being a good manager is knowing when to take a pitcher out, leave a pitcher in, and I think he does that a great job.
Earl Weaver, as he comes back right now, a controversial manager, naturally not to the fans. They love to see him get tossed to the games and such and yell at the players and umpires alike. But how are the players going to feel about it? How do they react?
I think the players are going to be, they're looking forward to Earl coming back. The players, when Altobelli's gone, the players, you know, they say, well, we didn't play too well. And that's really the way they look at it. I mean, I think most of them are happy to see Earl come back. They feel like that overall, when they go out to do their job, that they have the best man at the helm, and they have Earl Weaver, and that's the way they feel. They feel like that they can go out and do their job, well, they've got the best man running the game, running the show.
Was this a tough decision for Earl Weaver? And I'll tell you the reason I ask you this. John Lowenstein mentioned that it was very tough for him to let go of you when it was time for you to retire. And when he decided to retire, it was at a time when John Lowenstein, Ken Singleton, Benny Ayala, Al Bunbury would have had to let go. Do you think that was maybe one reason why he got out in the first place?
Well, he was burned out. As he said, I was tired of yelling at the players, and you know, he's passed up several outstanding propositions to manage Montreal, Texas. And I think the time had come for Earl to get back in the ball game. And Edward Bennett Williams, I think, had lost confidence, not lately, but I mean, this goes back to last year in Joe Altobelli. And as he said, he wants to, the club had become listless, and that's one of the reasons that he felt like Earl Weaver could get him back and start rolling again.
What's his first move? He has some players in there who he didn't have in 1982 when he did retire. What's his first move now with Fred Lynn and Don Ossie, Lee Lacy?
I don't see a lot of changes that he can make. I think he's going to have to go with the same group of players he has right now, and he's going to probably have individual talks with most of them. And, you know, we've got a fine ball club, an outstanding ball club, but they have to do it on the field. And I don't care who manages a ball club. It's up to the players to go out there and produce. He can push some right buttons, and he can push the buttons to make this club win in a lot of situations. And I just think the fact that he's here will inspire some of the players, because I know that several of them had really felt like that they had lost confidence in Joe, and Joe had lost confidence in them.
Okay, Brooks, don't go away. We have a couple of more questions with us, so stay with us. There's more to come in our special report, a look at Edward Bennett Williams and what led him to the decision to fire Joe and to hire Earl. Stay with us. To confirm it, in baseball matters, the voice of owner Edward Bennett Williams grows louder. Some background from Jack Dawson.
Edward Bennett Williams is your basic, fierce competitor. When he bought the Orioles in 1979, he brought with him a notable record of success in the courtroom, along with a solid background in sports as president of the Washington Redskins. It seemed like a perfect match. The Orioles' record in the 20 years before EBW had been the best in baseball. The record since has also been tops in the majors, and it all reached a zenith with the 1983 World Championship.
This is yours!
The man loves winning, and the man hates to lose. He could not accept the fifth-place finish in 1984. With general manager Hank Peters, he identified weaknesses on the roster and moved swiftly in the offseason to reinforce the weak spots. Fred Lynn in center field, Lee Lacy in right, and Don Ossie in the bullpen, all at considerable expense. It's no secret, when Williams makes his moves, he expects them to pay off. The civilized world knew going into this season that Williams expected sparkling stuff from the 1985 Orioles, and sparkling is not the word that describes their first 55 games. Williams' reputation as the determined competitor, as much as anything, fueled the persistent rumors of Joe Altobelli's last days as manager. Baseball watchers just knew that Williams could not stand still for more of the same. Now it's Earl Weaver's turn again. And make no mistake, Edward Bennett Williams expects Weaver to make a difference.
Brooks, some final thoughts and a simple question, or what seems like a simple but the all-important questions. Can he make that much of a difference?
He can make a difference, but with this ball club, I'll have to see it to believe it.
Okay, and we'll see if it happens very soon. Let's go back now out live to the stadium where Scott Garceau is still standing by, as he has been all day. Some final thoughts, Scott?
Well, John, you know, I've kind of defended Joe all along during this thing, and my question when people said get rid of Altobelli was, who are you going to replace him with? I have to agree with the Oriole management, because I think Earl Weaver's probably a better manager than probably 26 of the others in the game. So I don't have any problems with the decision they made bringing Earl Weaver back today. But if the bullpen has an ERA of over 6 runs a game, I don't care if Connie Mack or John McGraw's in the dugout, the Orioles will not win. So that's the challenge facing Earl Weaver. And when Earl left in '82 on that very emotional day, I had the feeling all along that he was saying see you later, not goodbye, when he left. And I guess the only blemish on this day was probably the way that Joe Altobelli was treated in the last 48 hours, because I don't think Joe Altobelli in his final days was treated with Oriole class. John?
Scott, I couldn't agree with you more. So that is it. Joe Altobelli is out, and Earl Weaver is back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. The press conference, the very first for the second time around for Earl Weaver. We will be there live with it, so tune in. We'll bring you up to date on this story of Joe Altobelli and Earl Weaver. Tomorrow night, Earl Weaver's first day back as manager of the Baltimore Orioles. Thank you very much for watching, and stay with us tomorrow.
Brought to you by Provident Bank of Maryland. For you, for now, for the future. And by your participating Nissan dealers, who invite you to test drive the 300ZX. It's awesome.
You ain't no good.
You ain't good either.
They'll never have our games.
I hope. What do I care?
And the sign says it all. Goodbye, Earl, and you deserve it.
But I finally got here. Now I'm hoping to be successful at every rung of the ladder in the Oriole organization.